Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned into Power Breakfast on CNBC TV18. Now it's time we get to what will be happening in the Indian markets. How are we setting up for trade today? Important stocks to watch out for in today's trading session. And we have a team of researchers joining in with us this morning. First up, I'll go across to Vamakshi. How are we setting up for trade? Indicating a bit of a muted start, but what are the data points that we're watching out for today?
Well, a bit of a muted start for today, Vinny, but let's recap what happened in the trading session yesterday. Despite escalating tensions in West Asia, we did see the markets move higher. Nifty snapped its two-day losing streak and rose in line with most of the global markets. Nifty closed just shy of 24,950. The Sensex too closed somewhere close to the 81,800 mark, and in fact, we had 46 out of 50 Nifty stocks close in the green, and some of the top contributors included banks as well as Reliance Industries. As far as the broader indices are concerned, the initial weakness that we saw in both of these indices, the Nifty mid cap as well as the small cap, reversed swiftly as the risk appetite returned. In fact, both of these indices broke their three-day losing streak and moved in tandem with the benchmark indices. As far as sectoral indices are concerned, most of them, in fact, all of them closed in the green, and the gains were led by IT, realty, oil and gas, as well as the metal stocks. As far as today's session is concerned, we'll be keeping an eye out on the two-day FOMC meeting, which commences today. We'll be keeping an eye out on the interest rate decision that comes from the Bank of Japan. It is expected at 8:30 a.m. today, and largely the rates are expected to remain unchanged, but we'll see how that unfolds. Apart from that, we'll also be keeping an eye out on some other cues as well. PM Modi attends G7's leaders meeting in Canada, and Japan PM and Donald Trump met on the sidelines of G7 amid tariff concerns. So that is something that we'll be keeping an eye out on. But apart from that, let's look at what the GIFT Nifty is indicating. For now, it's a 34-point cut. But over to Ria now, who will list out all the stocks to watch for in today's trading session. Good morning, Ria.
Good morning, Vamakshi. Let's take a look at the stocks to watch out for today. First up, we have Vishal Mega Mart. Now, sources say that a big block deal is likely to happen, and the block deal size has been upsized. Promoters are now likely to sell up to rupees 9,996 crores worth of shares in this company. Moving on, we also have Tanla Platforms in focus today. The board has approved the buyback of 20 lakh shares worth 175 crores at a price of rupees 875 per share via the tender offer route. For Biocon, they've launched a QIP yesterday on the 16th of June, setting the floor price at rupees 340 per share, and the company is going to raise rupees 4,500 crores via this QIP. For Z Entertainment, promoters are going to invest rupees 2,237 crores in the company via the issuance of fully convertible warrants on a preferential basis, and the promoters are now going to increase their stake in the company to 18.39%. For Hyundai Motors, this one will be in focus today. They've commenced the production of passenger vehicle engines at Maharashtra's Talegaon plant from yesterday, from the 16th of June. Mastech will also be in focus today. They've bagged a contract from NHS England to provide NHS board and SIRO cybersecurity training in partnership with Templar executives. Keep your eye out on NTPC as well. They're going to consider fundraising up to rupees 18,000 crores via bonds on the 21st of June. And lastly, two companies will be in focus on the back of some changes in the management. For IIFL Finance, the former RBI Deputy Governor BP Kango has joined the board of the company as an independent director. And for Bata India, the Bata Group has appointed Panos Mataros as its new global CEO with effect from the 15th of September.
Okay, Ria, thank you so much for that. But finally, Mangalam is waiting by to tell us what's going to be happening in the world of FNO. Mangalam, good morning.
Good morning. So yesterday was a good day for the bulls. If you look at it, on Thursday and Friday, there was a big dip on the frontline indices. Yesterday, there was a recovery in line with what the global markets did. But we're still about 250 points away from the post-RBI policy high and the pre-war high as well. So if you look at it, the June 11th high of 25,222 becomes an important fulcrum on the way up, and at the lower level we will watch for the June 13th low of 24,473 as well. Why is that? Because oil prices have been rising. Yesterday when we closed trade, oil was closer to around 73, then went all the way down to 70 before rising closer to $74 as well. So all eyes on that. Cash market flows. The DIIs bought in cash yesterday, 5,600 crores. The FIs sold about 2,300 crores. But even as the markets moved higher yesterday, the Nifty futures moved much higher than the cash, and the premium expanded from 9 points to about 50 points, telling you that there was purchase by the FIs and index futures. And that's what data confirmed as well. 420 crore worth purchase, 2,400 long contracts is what they've added. And as a result of which, their long contracts or long exposure now stands at 20% versus 80% short. But the bigger positive, however, was them writing more puts than calls. So they wrote 17,000 calls, they wrote 52,000 puts, nearly 3 times. That tells you there is strong support at lower levels. Where are those put writers active? 24,900 put writers active at 112 rupees premium, 24,800 put writers as well active at an 81 rupee premium, and you have 25,000 put writers active at 155 rupees premium. All of this tells you that 24,750 to 24,800 is an important support zone for the Nifty. Technically too, we have the 20-day moving average out there. The only fly in the ointment, at higher levels can we see some selling. Why do I say that? Because the put-call ratio has moved towards 1.14. Remember, near 1.2, 1.25, we see a bit of a sell-off for the frontline indices. Out of band is IEX, so that's one stock I'll be watching out for.
Well, thank you so much for that, Mangalam. But